question to you interns: are you confident enough that you know what to do you know what to do and produce results that are accurate, reliable, and on time? Aside from knowing and doing the laboratory testing procedures correctly, how can we avoid committing errors or mistakes? Today, our speaker will talk about one of the top priority in the laboratory, which is regarding on errors and mistakes. Why is it critical? And what are the purpose or proposed solutions for minimizing such errors? Laboratory errors, regardless of their size, can result in disastrous outcomes such as misdiagnosis and may result in the administration of incorrect medication, surgical procedure, and delayed treatment that could lead to the patient harm and even death. It is a significant issue to address these errors since the accuracy and integrity of laboratory results are essential for informed decision-making in a variety of areas, which includes not only on clinical diagnostics, but as well as public health surveillance and clinical trial researches. Mr. Raymond Mabbagu, our speaker, is the previous research chair of the College of Medical Laboratory Science at the LaSalle Medical and Health Science Institute. He served as a subject coordinator of various professional subjects in less than 10 years here in FEU Manila. He is also a public speaker in various seminars and given both in the academe as well as in the church community. He is also coaching for the National Parent Frisbee Contest since 2016. Now, aside from his small-time agricultural business, he is happy to be part of his alma mater, the FEU NRMF, as seminar coordinator. Without any further ado, let's welcome Mr. Raymond Mabbagu.
Thank you for the warm welcome and also for inviting me here. So good morning. Welcome back to Remedies sa Moranta. Siyempre, so narinig niyo nasa FEU ako ngayon. So, I'm very, very happy and it's my pleasure to see the new breed now of Tangaraos dito po sa Moranta. Ayan. So, dahil dyan, before anything else, I would like to see, syempre, I would like to know the audience. So next slide po tayo. Can I see show of hands ng mga interns sa Manila? Sa Manila. Ano ba yung mga hospital sa Manila? Tondo. May ka na Tondo ba dito? Tondo may. Naging CA kasi ako dyan. Kay Ma'am Genes. Si Ma'am Genes pa ba yung chief medtech? Ilang oras po ba ang aking Okay, anyway, so how about in Makati? May mga interns ba sa Makati? May hospital sa Makati? Parang wala na. Sino dito yung mga single na babae? Ay, lahat taken, di ba? Parang nagtataas na kamay. Wow! Sana all, no? So, next slide, sir. Bakit palagi tama ang mga babae? Next slide po. Kasi sa English, ang lalaki ay palaging ayan, mali. Ang ating pag-usapan sa ngayon ay ibang pagkakamali or errors or mistakes. Ayan. So, I have entitled this section as Errors and Remedy in Clinical Laboratory Management Approach. So first, let us define, we have errors, we have also mistake, which is interchangeably now in our statements. But mostly in scientific language, we use errors. Ayan. So as defined, errors are non-conforming results. Okay, so non-conforming or you have mga invalidated or unacceptable results. Okay, and these are actually outliers or with an unusually extreme value. So with statistical meaning, kulay green. So if you're going to, there's a representation. So we have random error. We have also systematic error. Okay. So random error, the result of the measurement minus the mean. So take note sa ating LJ, sa ating Levy-Jennings chart, di ba? In order to arrive to that, we're going to compute. Diba? So that will be again. So what you have measured minus the mean statistically, so that's the formula for random. Okay, so mistakes, non-conforming results with no statistical meaning. And another thing is the differentiation of the cause. Okay? So for mistakes, usually this category contains the human error. So human mistakes. So they have different concepts, different causes and implications. While errors, so this is due to non-human action. So, sa technology, kinakailangan daming mga pinipindot at tinitignan. Okay, so remember that we have 3 phases in the laboratory, and each phases, of course, has its own type of error. So we have the pre-analytic, analytic, and the post-analytic. So in classification also, there is a pre-analytic phase error, analytic phase, and post-analytic phase. Okay, another one, so this is taken from a reference in clinical chemistry, so Bishop. So we have the error, random error, systematic error, and their causes. So, random error may cause imprecision. So, if it's not precise, it's imprecise. And when you say precision, it's the relationship of one of the measurements that you have obtained. Okay? Random. So, you have different or varying results. And to determine the error, what you're going to do is to replicate your test. Do a lot of tests. Okay? Systematic error may cause inaccuracy. So if it's not accurate, it is inaccurate. And when you say accuracy, so that is the relationship or its association to the true value. If it's not near to the true value, then it is inaccurate. Okay? Associated with common interferences. In clinical chemistry, when you say interferences, these are the things that you don't need. Or it could it could have a change in the result. Okay? So those are your interferences. Sa buhay nyo, meron ba kayo, ano yung mga interferences sa buhay nyo? So, mga mall, ML, di ba? Of course, your study is your priority, and avoid those interferences. But in the laboratory, what are the different interferences that we can encounter? Particularly, hemolysis, di ba? Lipemic, enteric, bacteria. So those are your interferences. Okay? So to determine the error, comparison of your test methods. So you are going to apply different methods. Like in the laboratory, sa inyong mga clinical laboratory, that's one of the reason kung bakit, for example, pre-test, bakit dalawang magkaiba ang test kit natin na pwedeng din, or even sa HBsAg, no? Kasi kung positive doon sa test kit na yon, yung brand na yon, itry mong i-test nga dito sa isa pa nating test kit kung talagang positive siya, or kunyari weak positive. Okay? So pwedeng gano'n, comparison of method. You have two different testing test kit that you have that you use. Okay, so systematic error may be due to reagents, standards, poorly written procedures. Okay, here are some common of the pre-analytic analytic errors, and we are going to go deeper on this and detailed next on the next slides. Okay. Change the report. Okay, again, so these are some of the listed common pre-analytic error, and this is taken from this journal, Conclusions. Incorrect, when you say pre-analytic, so before, okay, before testing, okay, so pre-analytic. So we have failure, the pre-analytic error, so before testing, and this is attributed saan? Sa mga staff, and mostly sa staff, no? And as well as the instrument. And take note that the most common error occurs on this phase, no? Pre-analytic error, and followed by the post-analytic error. Ang least common natin ay nasa analytical phase. Okay? So we have incorrect test request or test selection. So yung mga result form that are incomplete. Laboratory request form incomplete. Inappropriate specimen collection, labeling, transportation, wrong anticoagulant, Inappropriate patient's preparation. Diyan, no? Marami tayong mga cases dyan. Kung saan may mga pasyente tayo, for example, no? Anong oras po tayo huling kumain? Ay, gabi pa, alas 7. Ay, overfasting na tayo, star. Diba? Ay, ano pala, kumain ako ng 10. Ano ba talaga tayo? Diba? So, ako, ang statement ko palagi dyan, kasi kung sir, pagka tinuloy po natin yan, kung sa simula na ay mali, syempre, ang resulta nyo ay mali din. Mas lalo po kayo, hindi kayo ma-manage yung treatment ninyo kung kinakailangan ninyo. Okay? Baka sabihin wala talagang sakit, pero may sakit naman pala talaga. Okay? So, napaka-importante nitong ating frenetic phase, giving instructions to our patients. Ano ba? Ano ba yung maraming patient preparation? Di ba yung FOBT? Di ba? FOBT that could give false positive, false negative result. Di ba? False positive, like for example, the patient should avoid eating red meat. Ano pa yung mga may patient preparation aside from fasting? Sa sperm analysis, di ba? Dapat may abstinence na about 3 to 5 days abstinence. Di ba? Nakagawa ba kayo dito ng actual seminalisis? Nakapag-abstain ba kayo? Di ba? So, hopefully, na-perform niyo yan in your daily life. Mistakes in patient identification. So once again, the pre-analytical errors, it is attributed to patient and staff preparation, and pre-analytical, everything that precedes test performance. Next, we go to analytical errors. Okay, so analytical errors, these are attributed to the laboratory staff. And when you say analytical, everything related to testing. Okay, so we have the different variables, like for example, your reagent, your instruments. This also includes the power surges. And sabi nila, pati daw yung sa pag may call sa mobile phones, pwede siya magkaroon ng interferences. Vibration, di ba? Kaya dapat ang ating mga gamit stable, solid, dun sila nakalagay. Particularly mga spectro, mga analytical balance. Gamit ba tayong analytical balance? Saan natin ginagamit yun? Di ba sa micro? Especially sa akin during my time, microbiology. When we do media prep, nakapag-media prep na ba kayo? No? So sana nakapag-media prep kayo. Kasi pag ako naging bacteriology prof ngayon, pagod na pagod lahat. Mga estudyante. So, ayan. Okay. And again, it also includes yung ating mga those that would cause matrix effect. Now, such as again, yung mga hemolysis, lipemia, diphtheria. Okay, so, pati ko dyan, matrix effects. Okay? Failure in sampling system, in aspiration system of reagents. So, analytical phase, we do pipetting, aliquoting, changes in analyzer's photometric unit. So, these are part of the spectrum. Flow cell measuring unit. Environmental conditions, so humidity and temperature. Sabi ng mga nurse, buti pa dito sa laboratory, lamig-lamig. Di ba? Minsan ingit yung mga nurse natin dahil yung mga staff, nandiyan na sila sa hallway ng sa station. Nag-i-stay sila dito sa laboratory dahil ingit ko. Yes po, kailangan po talaga maganda yung temperature natin. No? Because that is for our machines, that is for our reagents, and for our sample. Okay? So, that's the reason. Hindi dahil tayo ay napakapalan, tayo mga medtech na patakayo. So, it's more on that. Okay? And again, reaching students. Next, post-analytical error. Okay, post-analytical, so after the testing. So what we do, recording of result, reporting of result, our computation, and when we transcribe the result, yan, sa post-analytical phase yung ano. And, of course, tendency to have an error. Here on the post-analytical phase, this also includes the timing or the delivery of our result, which can affect the treatment management again of our patients. Okay? So again, post-analytical, everything that comes after test analysis. Wrong matching between the sample and laboratory finds. Wrong copy of results from analyzer's report to the laboratory report. Naalala ko, no? Before, nagmamanual pa kami. Dito ba nagmamanual pa rin kayo ng sulat ng resulta? Ayan. So, may mga nakakarating sa ward na form. Nandun yung pangalan ng pasyente, details ng pasyente, pero walang mga resulta. Diba? So, nangyayari ba kayo sa kayo? During our time kasi, nangyayari siya sa mga public hospital. Okay? Delayed delivering results to the physician, clinics, or patients. Loss of result, incorrect interpretation of results. So once again, later on, we will go in detail pa dyan. So tatagdagan pa. Now we have identified the common errors. Ano na ba yung mga yun? Now, this time, how are we going to reduce it or minimize it? Just like in histopath, di ba sa Gregorio, meron ka remedy. For example, inadequate fixation. What's the remedy? Okay, so unahin natin ulit ang pre-analytical phase. But before that, take note that the initial stages are the building blocks for what comes next, according to the quotations. The root of the issue lies usually in the beginning phase. And the first step is the most important, okay, always most important. Because if the first step is a misstep, then the whole journey will go off course. Once again, the most frequent error occurs on this phase, the pre-analytical phase. So we have the error and the possible effect. So we have, number one is identification of patient. Diba? Until now, it's sad to hear may mga medtech pleho na hindi pa rin marunong or hindi ina-apply ang tamang pagtatanong ng pangalan ng pasyente. Diba? Okay, Mr. Ramos. Mr. Ramos, asan mo si Mr. Ramos? Okay, pagayin na si Mr. Ramos ko. Ano pong buong pangalan? Ano pong birthday? Amen. Recently, meron ako, pinikwento sa akin. Tinanong niya dun sa kanyang pantay. Ito yung si Mr. Ito po may pangalan ng pasyente. So, are we going to identify correctly the patient? And if ever there is, of course, there's a wristband for the identification of our patients or ask the nurse. Okay? And you confirm kung siya pa talaga. Okay? And that is very, very important in transfusion. Okay? Drawing of blood at incorrect time. Kasi there are analytes with the urinal variation, but before that, there are also that requires fasting. Diba? Pumunta tayo sa diurnal variation, like your TSH. Okay, your TSH. The TSH is increased at midnight, and it is decreased in the afternoon. Mostly, ang affected ng thyroid problems. mga babae. Di ba? Stock ng babae. So, magpapakuha siya ng dugo in the afternoon kasi syempre nag-work sila. Ganyan. So, take note, mababa siya in the afternoon. Okay? So, that's one of the example with the urinal variation. May analyte na kinakailangan kuhanan ko siya 3 hours after waking up. O, gising na ba kayo? Ano analyte yun? Anong hormone yun? Diba? Prolactin. May request kang prolactin, tatanungin mo yung pasyente, anong oras ko nagising? Dapat po after 3 hours after waking up. No? Prolactin. Okay, improper skin disinfection, of course, dito yung alcohol, which could hemolyze the specimen, which could damage the red blood cells. And hemolysis, marami siyang analyzed na naapektuhan. Diba? Clump, potassium, LDH, ACP, magnesium, phosphorus, or phosphate. Decrease ang bilirubin. Increase ang hemoglobin. And in electrophoresis, it may show extra or additional bands in electrophoresis. Nakapag-electrophoresis ba kayo dito? Sana. Di ba? Na-try mag-electrophoresis. Kasi napaka-importante yung actual na. Medyo apply. Okay? Hindi lang tayo nagpapasa-pasa. Dapat na-apply na meron tayong kinetic learning. No? Okay. Asa na? So, improper skin disinfection. Next, drawing from edematous site, so it will give you our sample. Another one pala to add, in terms of time, di ba meron tayong mga Q2? Gusto niyo ba yan? Q2? Naka-Q2 yan. Usually, RBS. Ano ba ang term ng RBS? Random blood sugar, no? Capillary blood glucose, CBG. CBG kasi tawag sa FEU Medical Center. CBG. Gusto niyo ba yun? Q2 or Q30? Ano ibig sabihin ng Q30? Every 30 minutes, kukuha na. Q2, every 2 hours, kukuha na. Diba? So, dapat you really have to apply that. Kasi, they are monitoring the trend or the pattern of the result. Malaria. Sa FEU na, sino mga taga-FEU na dito na nag-i-intern? Diyan din kasi ako nag-intern. So medyo may clue na kayo kung saan yung kaninang sinabi kong senaryo. Okay. Yan, may mga malaria cases kasi usually sa FEU na. Kasi during my time, hindi na kasi ako masyado nag-medtech eh. Purely academic na ako. Kaya palagi ko siya during my time, so I don't know kung iba na kayo. Diba? So during my time, kasi malaria, tinatanong sa donor form in FEU, have you visited in areas that is endemic to malaria, such as in Palawan and Mindoro? We have also malaria cases in Rizal. Diba? So yeah. Ano yung according to CDC, we monitor malaria, okay, so every 8 hours. Tama? Naka-Q8 siya. For 2 to 3 days. Again, that's according to CDC. So those are just example of getting or obtaining the specimen on the appropriate time. Okay. Fist pumping during venipuncture. Di ba may kinukuha na ka ng dugo? Ano ito? Nagdodorin ka ba? Di ba? We do not recommend that. Just make a fist. Oh, di ba? Just make a fist lang. Kasi again, you can give increase in potassium. How does palamig si potassium affected? No? So, increase in lactic acid, calcium, phosphorus, decrease in the pH. Next, prolonged tourniquet use. Dapat not more than 1 minute or 60 seconds. Because it could lead to hemoconcentration. The blood will be thickened or concentrated, and it could result to the loss of plasma. Hemoconcentration. Okay, that could also increase your potassium, total protein, lactic acid. Okay, dito tayo sa IV fluid. Wala ka ng choice. Doon mo talaga kukuhanan yung pasyente. Dahil yung ating pasyente, bugbog na, no? Panay tusok na dyan, nagre-request yung pasyente, dito naman sa isang side. Para pantay, joke lang. So, sa paa, hindi pwede kasi, for example, diabetic siya. No? So, may IV fluid. Bago muna yung pala, halika dito. Ikaw ba yung kukuha ng dugo o sumahod ka na lang? Na-experience nyo na ba yun? Sahod na lang. Diba? So, yeah. So, sasahod na lang. Again, so first, kinakailangan mo munang mag-wash. It will be washed now. So, and then bago ka sumahod. So, pag sa mga IV fluid naman, remember, yung ating mga IV fluid, it could contain yung dextrose or yung normal saline, diba? So, therefore, it could dilute the sample or it could increase glucose, no? And as well as electrolytes, yung sodium chloride. Now, ay kumuha ka talaga doon. Wala nang choice, doon na lang talaga. Ano ang procedure doon? Stop the IV. Tama? Okay, so stop the IV for 2 minutes. Stop muna yung swero. Inform the nurse. No? So, stop na po yung IV niya kasi doon po tayo kukuha. And then, so dapat 2 minutes. Okay? 2 minutes tayo nakastop. Before you connect. So, ayun pala, nakalagay na dyan. IV fluid contamination. So, pagkasahod, flush, or remove waste first, remove saline or membrane that is on the catheter. Meron tayong picture pala dito. For our tubes, so check nyo kung expired na. Speaking of expiration, because of COVID, di ba, ang daming na-expire na kung ano-anong gamit. Paki-check na maigay. Lalo-lalo na sa ating mga health center. Kasi di ba yung mga health center natin, may mga ano din yung mga syringe, mga tubes. Yeah, so, now, if the tube is expired, particularly if it is vacuum tube, baka the vacuum was already wala na. No? So, failure to obtain blood ang mangyayari ito. Okay. Next. So, ayan. So, inversion. Inversion, paano kayo mag-invert? Diba? So, inversion, it depends on the anticoagulant. Diba? So, at least, I think the most common one that we use in hematology, the anticoagulant is EDTA, 8 to 10 times inversion. Diba? Inversion, ayan na. No? According to CDC. So, gano'n, no? Ang ating, turn it upside down, and that is 1 inversion. Oh, ganyan. Oh, nakita nyo? Nakita nyo? Diba? Oh, bakit grade 2? Diba? Sabi sa TikTok. So yan, gano'n na. Kasi again, another chismis. Hindi, another report na naman. Kasi, ano din po ako no? Ay, nakamalit lang ating industriya. Alam namin yung mga nangyayari sa kung saan hospital. No? Lalo na ngayon, isang GC lang, isang text lang, ganyan. Di ba? Kumuha daw na for PT-PTT, yung plebo daw yun. Di ba? Ang gluta, sodium citrate, ETS ang ginamit. Ganun daw, ganun daw sinig daw yun. Okay? And I believe, ang pagkuha ng dugo, ilang beses ninyong inaral-aral yan. Sa PMLS, di ba? Sa CC1, CC2, sa hematology, and jet, kanya-kanyang sistema ang ginagawa. Okay? So, again, gentle lang ang ating pag-i-invert. Okay? We need to invert it, we need to mix it so that we could avoid clot or the platelet clumping. Okay, that lead to. Next. According to Bishop again, so this is a reference in clinical chemistry, it must be the specimen must be delivered at least until 45 minutes. Okay, ito ay dedicated sa mga mahilig magpasta. No? Na mahilig pong magpasta. Gaano ba katagal ang stock? Pag sinabing stock, ano to? Di ba? May resulta agad. Prep test, ganyan. So, take note, ipapaklat muna natin siya. Di ba? Ipapaklat po muna natin siya. And dapat vertical yung ating test tube. O, paki-compute niya, minimum ng clotting, 30 minutes. Gaano katagal mag-centrifuge? According to CLSI, 10 minutes. O, ilan na yun? Ito, mamadali. Diba? So again, those things can affect our result. Yeah, okay, so clot before centrifugation, 30 to 40 minutes. Maintain tubes in vertical position. Dapat naka-centri siya within 1 hour to 2 hours. And again, so 10 minutes ang aming centrifugation. No? At 1,000 to 1,300 relative centrifugal force. And then, so you must separate the serum or plasma from the red blood cell to minimize glycolysis. Because glucose will be reduced for about 200, di ba? 200 milligrams per deciliter per hour. So, kinakailangan naka-separate siya. You have primary tubes. Now, primary tubes. Tapos, mamayang hapon, may tube pa siya, paki-recentry nga. So, do not recentrifuge primary tubes. Kaya yung mga na-centry, it's recommended na mag-separate na siya. Okay? Again, if you recentrifuge it, it can cause hemolysis. Okay. Hanggang saan ba ang ating blood? No? Depende sa test tube kung hanggang saan. So here's again an illustration. I-check yung test tube, no? Hanggang doon lang, sa white. That's the median. Itong part na to, maximum na yun. Ito, at least ito. So depende again sa ating test tube. Okay, so there are analytes that require ice. Diba? So at least 4 degrees Celsius, diba? Ang ating temperature. At ano yung mga analytes na yun? Okay. Siyempre yung blood gas, diba? Because of the pH, lactate, ammonia, ACTH. Sana all nasa ice, diba? Sa init ng panahon niya. Again, so we have your blood gas, okay, your ammonia, and your lactate and ACTH. Kapag mainit, mataas si alkapos. Okay, increase in temperature. Okay, so mainit, mataas si alkapos. Mababa si LTH. Okay, mababa si LTH. Next. Okay, ano yung pinaprotect natin sa light? Bilirubin. Ano pa? That are pigmented. For example, urine and aminolevulinic acid, porphobilinogen, no? Porphyrins. Pinaprotect yun sa light. Okay? Ayan. Diba? So, ano nga yung mga test sa urobilinogen? Ano nga yung mga test natin sa urobilinogen? Particularly sa AUBF. Ano principle sa reagent strip ng urobilinogen? Diba yung Remedies? Ano pa? Push test? Watson-Schwartz? Diba? So, urobilinogen yung mga yun. Porphobilinogen, porphyrin, these are derivatives ng urobilinogen. Yung mga gen, ganyan, walang pigment yung mga yun. Urobilinogen, walang pigment yun. Okay, so yeah. So protect bilirubin from light because it could damage the bilirubin. Because bilirubin will be decreased 50% after 1 hour exposure to light. Okay, hemolyze na tayo, hemolysis. Normally, the serum is pale yellow. If there is RBC destruction, the hemoglobin will be released. Now, so what are the analytes again? Increase, sabi ko kanina. Now, so, potassium LDH, acid phosphatase, magnesium, phosphorus, or phosphate. Palagi ba kayo may-hemolyze ng blood? So bakit ba lagi na-hemolyze ng blood? So it's because of what we use. So sa mga needle, baka sa ating mga test tube din. Diba? So particularly, baka hindi kayo masyadong concerned dito, pero may mga magpo-pull up kasi ng laboratory. May mga estudyante kami ngayon, nagsiset up ng mga laboratory and very, very happy. Yan, tinatanong-tanong din nila ako. And they are very concerned nga sa mga gamit. Ano yung gamit natin? Ano ba dapat gawin dyan? Kaya napakahalaga ng lagman din. No? Particularly, baka yung iba sa inyo may ari ng laboratory. Diba? So, yun, dapat na natin ito baka ito. Bakit nagkaka-hemolyze or hemolysis? So sa ating mga gamit and as well as on our procedures. Pumunta tayo sa needle size. Ano nga ang recommended gauge ng ating needle? What is the standard gauge? 21. Diba? So 21. And when you say gauge, it is the diameter of the hole of the needle. Ano naman ang ibig sabihin? Masa na yun? Ito. 30 gauge. Yan. Okay. Half. So, ibig sabihin yung length niya is half of an inch. Ibig sabihin. When pumping start to increase blood flow, and also we warm it up, no, to avoid excessive squeezing. And again, excessive squeezing could result into hemolysis. Okay, so nasabi na natin itong ating alcohol. Allow the alcohol to dry completely. Okay, dapat appropriate blood collection tube. Collect the correct volume for the tube size. Use a smaller tube for difficult draws. Centrifuge sample for separation, yeah, within 4 hours of sample collection. So, another cause of hemolysis, again, yung kaninang dinemo natin, vigorous shaking, and as well as exposure of sample in extremes of temperature. Pwede pa ba yan? Pwede pa yan. I-test mo na. Ganyan. According to CDC, how to visualize hemolysis. So, ayan. How to know if it's hemolyzed. So, through this visualization, or you compare it with the color chart, or in CDC, they have the hemolysis reference palette. Ayan. So, kapag, again, normally, the serum should be pale yellow. If it is this color or darker, it should not be subjected into serologic test. This color is equivalent that it contains 100 milligrams per deciliter ng ating hemoglobin. Okay? Why it's not recommended, it's not suitable, because there is a non-specific binding to our serologic test. Okay? So, grabe naman. Ang pula-pula niya, hemolize na hemolize. Parang hindi pa kayo kaka-hemolize. So, sana hindi. Okay? So, we have lepemic, hemolyzed ecteric. Lepemic, okay, so we're lactacent. So it's turbid, it's cloudy, it is maybe because the patient did not fast, so non-fasting specimen, and there is an increase in the lipid, the triglyceride, and in your clinical chemistry, to remove these chylomicrons, you need to subject it into ultracentrifuge. Okay, ultracentrifuge. It could interfere with colorimetric analysis. So, nasabi na natin ang hemolysis. Okay, red yung serum or plasma because of RBC destruction. It affects clot. Ayan. Sa ecteric naman tayo. So, ecteria, so it's yellowish. Now, because of, probably there is a liver disease, liver disorders, and increase in the bilirubin content. Bilirubin, which is a yellow-orange pigment. Okay, so another thing to consider is the correct order of flow. Diba? Because if it's not followed, no? So dun ka muna sa walang anticoagulant before dito sa may anticoagulant na ito, there could be an anticoagulant carryover. Now, particularly, if there's contamination with anticoagulant, again, it could increase what analyte, what electrolyte, si potassium na naman. It could decrease calcium and magnesium. By the way, hindi ko kanina na-mention, prolonged tourniquet use could increase potassium. Diba? It could also increase potassium. Okay. And as well as mga proteins. Potassium and proteins. Now, let's go to analytical phase. So, again, so this is the least affected ating analytical phase. And we were on analytical phase, so we are concerned of the test method, test design, its accuracy, precision, specificity, sensitivity, and linearity. Okay? When you say linearity, so obtaining the test result that is directly proportional to the concentration of the analyte in the sample. Again, make sure that your sample would represent the total population. Whether the sample that you are going to use is stool sample. Make sure na yung sample na yun, it will give the impression of the wholeness. Okay? So, in terms of accuracy, precision, ito palagi itong ating illustration na yun. Kanina, ang sinabi natin, when you say accuracy, so, nearness to the true value, for example, the true value is on this bullseye on the center, at they are near the obtained measurements or values, so they are near to the true value, so meaning, it has a high accuracy, and when you say precision, it's the relationship between the obtained measurements or values or result. So, magkakalapit sila, so mataas din ang precision niya. Okay? Dito naman, mataas yung precision niya, high precision, but inaccurate. Okay, so dito, disperse yung mga values natin or measurement. So it's imprecise, it's inaccurate. Okay, so our concern here is for verification. Okay, so accuracy, we verify it with our control, with our calibrators. We also do proficiency testing. When we say proficiency testing, so that is your external quality control, and that is your NEQUAS. That is set by the NRL. Mamaya pupunta tayo sa mga NRL, no? Saan ba dinidiscuss ang NRL? Sa Medtech Law, ganyan, di ba? National Reference Laboratory. Okay? Precision, so to verify, repeat the test, okay, to see how close the results are. Quality control, so it's part of the quality assurance. To monitor results from your control sample to verify again accuracy and precision of the test result. So when we have internal quality control, meron din tayong external quality control. So nabanggit ko na kanina external quality control, simply proficiency testing niya. Internal quality control, so it's what the medtech do in the laboratory. We do the control. No? QC tayo. So here, in the internal quality control, it checks the precision. Ano ba yung mga types ng control natin? So we have the normal control, abnormal control, high, di ba? Low control, positive control, negative control. By the way, just like in the clinical chemistry, when you run, dapat you run the control, you block the sample, di ba? You also block the sample, and you run also the standard. And of course, the sample. So sana gano'n ang ginagawa nyo sa experiment, sa clinical chemistry, pag nag-test kayo. And that's how you do it in the laboratory. Okay. Performance check. Okay, in the analytical phase, so we calibrate. When you say calibration, it is by checking or adjusting with your standard. Okay? Ayan. So with your standard, that is the art of checking or adjusting your instrument to give again accurate and reliable result. So standard, ito yung merong known concentration. Okay? So, may standard. Now, why do we need to calibrate? Nakalibrate nyo na ba yan? Yung gamit nyo? Because, in due time, because of the prolonged use, the instrument or the machine could give a change in the result. There is a drift because of or due to, again, humidity and temperature. So we calibrate. When do we calibrate? No? So if you acquire the new instrument, Okay, so you ask, or installation, bagong installation siya. According to manufacturer's recommendation, okay, tuwing kailan, depende, check mo yung machine or instrument. Also, in reference standards, based on recommended time intervals. For example, kinakalibrate natin siya every month, okay, or semi-annually. You ask the manufacturer na bibigyan kayo ng certificate of calibration. Okay, so this is a picture or example from the internet of certificate of calibration. Because different machines, they have also different time, recommended time or schedule for calibration. Again, so if you calibrate, you make your instrument or your machine on its best condition possible. If the control is outside of the range, bakit ganito, no? Nag-QC tayo, ang pangit na mga resulta. No? Iba-iba yung resulta, bakit gano'n? Hindi pasok sa ating QC. Ano ang ating gagawin? So here are the steps. Huwag mo naman mag-release ng resulta because the control is inaccurate. Baka yung ating nirelease din ay hindi din siya accurate. So, again, rerun the control. Okay? Value might have been due to expected random error. 1 in 20 results. So, dapat, di ba, 20 yung ating control sample or pag gumagawa kayo ng LJ chart. Okay. 30 results will be outside the negative 2ST, 2 standard deviation. So, meron kang 1, so that's outlier. Okay. That's pag 1, warning. Diba? Pag 2 na yung error, reject. Okay? So, review niyo yung ating LG sa clinical chemistry. So, nag-rerun ka, but still, it's still out of control. So, magbukas ka na ng bagong file or another lot number. Baka yung control mo ay expired, outdated, improperly stored, or contaminated. If it's still out, look and correct for any problems, then again, run control. Baka may problema naman sa remedies, hindi sa control. Okay? Preventive maintenance, there's mechanical problem or clogs. Still, hindi pa rin pasok, recalibrate. Again, na-define natin ang calibration, the act of adjusting, checking the instrument with your standard. Calibration may have shifted kasi it's still out, get assistance na to the engineering department. Check mo, tawagin mo yung manufacturer. So, document, no? Document for future reference. Evaluate all patient results in rejected run to ensure accuracy of reported results. Okay, so next, when do we do the quality control? At the beginning of each shift, kung ikaw ay 2 p.m. mamaya papasok after the shift, do the control. Okay, pag naayos yung ating instrument, nasira kasi, so mag-QC ka. Nagpalit ka ng reagent after calibration, and results are varying. So, nakapag-calibrate na tayo, nakapag-control na tayo, now we go to preventive maintenance. Yung mga may motor dito, parang nagpe-preventive maintenance din sila. So, wala pa yung problem, wala pa yung error, pero may ginagawa ka na to prevent the error to occur. So, meron kayong checklist sa laboratory. Tama? Itong equipment na to, na-check mo ba yung valve for this time? Na-check mo yung level ng mga reagent? Nilinis mo ba? So that's an example of preventive maintenance. And the rationale for this is to preserve or prolong the longevity of your instrument. So, to lessen the likelihood of failure, to reduce unexpected downtime. So, have a system for maintenance of your equipment is part of quality management. Delta checking. Then, nakapag-delta check na ba kayo? Encounter nyo rin sa laboratory. Di ba? So, you compare the previous patient's result when you do delta check. Before itong delta checking, it is also used to determine or identify an unknown specimen. Sa kanya ba yan? Kanina ba dyan yung kay Mr. Romero? Ay, yung mataas yung creatinine, siya lang yun. So, ngayon, we do not do that. We have list cases of that because there's already yung wristband nga and also barcode scanning. So if there's misidentified patient or yung unlabeled specimen, of course, the thing that we do is just to recollect. Okay? Dapat may label. Tama? Dapat may label kayo. Huwag papayag na walang label. Kung ang specimen nga may label, sana kayo rin. Para hindi magulo. Okay, so kanina internal quality control, ngayon naman external quality control. Or these are your proficiency testing. Okay? So, kanina nabanggit ko, sino ang nagpo-conduct ng proficiency testing? Si MRM. Si National Reference Laboratory. Makikita niyo sa MedTech Lounge o sa mga Facebook group. Nakareceive na po ba kayo ng NEQAS? Ito yun. Ano ibig sabihin ng NEQAS? National External Quality Assurance Scheme. Okay? Magbibigay sila ng unknown and you're going to test it in your laboratory. Okay? So ito ay ginagawa annually. Ito naman, so the external quality control, it checks the accuracy. Kasi, again, as we define accuracy, the nearness to the true value. So kung ang unknown mo ay, for example, siya ay 10 milligrams per TL, dapat very close doon sa known value na yun. Okay? So again, ang external quality control, it checks the accuracy. Ang internal quality control, it checks the precision. Okay? So the proficiency testing or external quality control, so it is done and here in the Philippines annually. In the United States, so it is a requirement by the CAP and CLIA teachers. Okay, so proficiency testing is another tool in the ongoing process of monitoring the test performance. So it's an addition to the daily quality control practice. Your laboratory is required to participate in the external proficiency testing program. As mentioned, there is an unknown that will be given to you. And ilang beses dapat tinitest lang yun? Okay, so kung how you treat your patient sample, how you receive, how you process, how you store, how you discard the sample, that is also what you're going to apply to your unknown, to the NEQAS. No? Unless, ang protocol niya talaga ay ganito. Diba? So, yeah. So, proficiency testing is essential to identify areas for improvement. It allows laboratory to continuously monitor and improve the test performance. performance. Okay, so NECWAS is established by the DOH. Ayan. So it includes the proficiency testing for the laboratory. Hindi naman bacteriology, no? So in other section pa. Okay, so NRL, the National Reference Laboratory. So ito yung mga example, no? So just review. National Reference Laboratory is designated by the government as it may be part or may be not part of the clinical laboratory. Anong ginagawa ng NRL? So again, it will evaluate the test reagents, your kits, your equipment. How? Again, by sending again the networks. Aside from that, to resolve conflicting issues, and as well as for training, okay? Training. Example, gusto mo maging drug test analyst, saan ka magte-train? Saan ka mag-register? Okay, mag-inquire sa East Avenue Medical Center. Because that's the NRL for drugs of abuse, as well as water testing laboratory. Diba? So, example ng mga NRL. Ano ginagawa dyan sa ating NECWAS? This is according to our ITM, yun ang available sa internet. So, may registration, so pay the participation fee, then shipment, so you receive, process, test, store, disposal of sample. So you must process at least on BSL level 2. Okay? And then, na-test mo na siya, so submit your result. Okay? And then, they will now give you the feedback of your analysis. The final step is the issuance of performance report and certificate of proficiency. Another one is we have inspection, no? Or accreditation of the clinical laboratories. Clinical laboratory, according to RA 4688, it excludes those that are limited only to AFB microscopy, cervical cancer screening, and malarial screening. Okay? So the DOH is a central government agency to authorize to regulate the operation and maintenance of the laboratory. Okay, so the Center for Health Development, so they inspect, they monitor, investigate violation, and technology. Quality assurance monitoring. Quality assurance is the overall or the total program that is done by the laboratory to ensure that the results reported are correct or accurate. So it will check that your service is suitable and that you minimize or reduce the errors or the mistakes. Quality determination. Who would say that your service is quality? Okay, dyan sa laboratory na yan. May quality. Of course, it's our client, it's our customers. So it's not the same as dahil mahal, okay dyan. Meron naman na mura, pero quality. Next, we now go to continuous improvement. So it's a process of ongoing effort to improve your service, your product, or the process. So continuous improvement is a systematic approach to plan, sequence, and implement improvement efforts. Like for example, the Schuhart cycle. So it's a 4-phase cycle for continuous improvement process. We have the PDSA or PDCA. PDSA, or study or check. Yan ang ating Schumann cycle. Other than that, for continuous improvement, you can also do the cause and effect diagram, control chart, affinity diagram, Pareto chart. Okay. Then finally, post-analytical phase. So again, this is the final stage of the testing process. So nandito tayo sa transcription, sa releasing of our result. We have also electronic health record, EHR. So that is where the information they're transferred on intra or extra laboratory for communication. Take note, ang ating resulta is our product. So dapat sagrado yan. Ayos, malinis, readable, no? Accurate, precise. According to RA 4688 Clinical Laboratory Law, so syempre, the one who processed it, method would sign together with the pathologist, the head of the laboratory. It must be verified. It must be validated. Dapat may nag-prepare for checking, for mock run-through, for validation. Your result form may also include comments. Comments that could have a bearing on the interpretation, such as humanized specimen, like pending, or those that can invalidate the result, the sample, like for example, clotted sample. Okay, so here are the details. So the laboratory must establish procedures, notifying the requester or the clinician responsible for the patient's care when the result falls on the critical values. Mamaya pag-usapan natin ang critical values. Okay? Okay, so kapag nire-release yung ating resulta via telephone, so dapat may policy din po kayo dyan. Everybody, can you please write 1 and 7? Lahat yan, pakisulat. 1 sa pa-7. 10. 9. 8. Ano na tayo? Medyo isip-isip at sabi ko kanina, may kinetic learner. Ganyan. Nasunod na? 5. 4. Pakitaas yung kamay. May hospital pa dito, manual, ang resulta. Sulat kamay. Or lahat computerized na. Anyways, di ba nag-CBG ka? Nag-RBS ka. Kunyari ang resulta, 176 mg per dl. Tama ba? Ayan. 176. Pakisulat, 176. Kasi mayroon din gano'n, no? Kwento. As in recent lang. This week lang, kwento sa akin. Umalis na yung medtech. At tignan mo muna. Ay, anong resulta? 176 example, no? Ay, sulat mo muna. Ay, hindi naman po. Ano ko naman po? Kabisado ko naman po. Ha? Di ba? Paano pag nakalimutan ko whatsoever? Tinawag ka ng nurse, nag-uusap kayo. Nakalimutan mo. How did you write number 1? Isang ganun lang. Tama? Ganun lang ang 1. O, paano ang 7? So, 7, tapos nalagyan ng ganun sa middle. That's number 7. Okay? Tinuro sa akin sa video na. Paano magsulat ng 7? Okay na, number 1 din. Kasi may iba kasi 1, ganun. So, pag pinasa ko ba ito, 1 or 7? Yan. So, again, there could be a transcription error. No? Okay, so post-analytical phase, result verification, validation, so review, inspect, do walkthrough, review patient's medical history, medication, so that could help us interpret our result. Bakit mataas yung kidney function test nito? Baka may dialysis na kasi talaga yan. Document corrected reports and critical results. Okay, so prescription error, there could be an incorrect value, incorrect letters. Post-analytical errors. Erroneous validation of analytical data, incorrect data entry, incomplete, incorrect reporting of result, failure to communicate critical result to the healthcare provider. So as mentioned, meron tayong tinatawag na critical values. These are very life-threatening, high, very high, or very low measurements that needs to be communicated so that you could have an immediate act or course of action. Ito ay example lang. Pag masyadong mababa ang glucose, that could lead to coma. Ano nga yung term natin na pag mababa yung glucose sa CSF? Ano tawag natin dito? Pag mababa yung glucose sa blood, it's hypoglycemia. How about decrease or low glucose on the CSF? Ano tawag natin doon? Hypo ano? Letter G din. Hypoglycorrhea. Di ba hypoglycorrhea? So, decrease glucose in the CSF. Okay, so less than 15% hematocrit, less than 5. Baka kailangan ng salinan yung ating pasyente niya. So, yan yung mga critical values. Baba yung platelet, less than 20. Nakikita niyo ba, minsan may mga nire-report pa kami 6,000. Baka kailangan ng transfuse niya ating pasyente. Mababa yung ating electrolytes or masyadong mataas. Okay. Resolving post-analytical errors or reports, stat results, and critical values promptly. How our quality assurance program. Itong third bullet, wala na tayong masyadong problema nito kasi some analyzers would already provide the LJ charts. Accurately transmit test result, reduce human error through root cause analysis. So here you have to, in root cause analysis, so you identify the error, understand what went wrong, why did it happen, and what needs to change or improve to prevent it from happening again. There is one joy now. This one is in Pakistan, in their blood center. So they have the blood banking surveillance system. Blood banking MIS nila. Here, they could identify the error. Who did the error? They will notify the user. Sino nagkamali? What's the error? And how to troubleshoot that error. Also, the frequency. Kadalas. In real time. Diba? So maganda ito, no? Kasi mag-check agad. Merong auto alert. They will also email you, no, for documentation processes. So here are the other surveillance system. So we have transmission error surveillance system test shock is serious hazard of transfusion, MERS-TM, medical error reporting system transfusion medicine. So, ang kagandahan nito, again, so they could identify the error in real time. So they have the cases of a near-miss situation. Okay? Nasa last part na tayo. So what's the significance of knowing this error? So it has an effect on patient safety. For example, you have false positive, false negative result. So it can result in adverse outcomes. Pinainom ka ng gamot, matindi pala yung gamot na yun, so that it damages your liver. Nagkaroon ka ng hepatotoxicity, na nilaw-nilaw ka pa. Diba? Okay? So it could lead to disability and eventually death. Healthcare costs. So mali yung ating mga binibigay na resulta, particularly, so it could lead to drug resistance. Paano na i-involve ang MET tayo sa drug resistance bacteria? Remember, we do the AST, antimicrobial susceptibility testing. There is a standard for the standard medium, standard depth. Okay, so you compare it with your 0.5 McFarland standard, if it's this diffusion. So kung mali yung ating process doon, yung ating steps na ginagawa, pwede tayo makapag-release ng resistant, hindi naman siya resistant. Ng susceptible, hindi naman siya susceptible. Okay? So, if there's drug resistance, it means you cannot treat the patient. Okay? So, you need for another testing, okay, so prolonged hospital stay, admission, so that's on the healthcare costs. Research validity. Of course, the result could affect the conclusion. Okay, that could give false claim on the therapy, okay, or the treatment. And lastly, healthcare quality. Okay? So it can affect the patient's confidence. Meron tayong mistrust ng mga patient sa ating healthcare system. It can lead to non-compliance with the healthcare recommendation and can result in the negative health outcomes and reduce overall quality of care. Okay? So prevention and solution on these errors should be a priority. It must not be neglected. Apply quality management and adhere to quality assurance to the policies and guidelines to reduce this error. Okay? So we have discussed the following: position in accuracy, the phases of quality assurance, the common errors, troubleshooting, interferences, sources of error, order of truth, guidelines for specimen handling and processing, test performance specification verification, internal quality control, external quality control, calibration, preventive maintenance, delta check, accreditation, inspection, QC monitoring, continuous lab improvement, and laboratory report. So to end this session, so errors, pagkakamali, mayroong kanta tayo ng bata. Diba? Kanta ni Bunso. Alam niyo ba kung ano kanta yun? Nilalaro niya to. Ang tawag ko dito, the cheer of the last born. Diba? Today, we are celebrating the Join Hands Day. So, ano nga kayo? Choose your partner. O kaya tatlo kayo. hold hand. Face your partner. Dali na. Sino man ang partner? Lahat kakanta ng The Chief of the Last Born. Hanggang 10. Pag kayo'y nagkamali, kayo'y pipinutin ko. Okay. So, ito ay yung nanay-tatay. Okay, so everybody sing. 5, 6, 7, go. Nanay-tatay. Alright, so, ayan, usually I end my speech ng makanta. Wala kayo sinakanta. Number 2 yung buho ko. Ayan. So, I will leave you with this parting shot. The only real mistake is the one from which you learn nothing. From Henry Ford, bawal magkamali or hindi pwede magkamali. Lahat tayo nagkakamali, pero dapat natin iwasan ang ating pagkakamali. At sa pagkakamali nito, dapat matuto tayo. Thank you very much.